Fred fakes a loss of hearing to gain Donna's attention tonight at 7 on Sanford and Son.
Spencer, I hope you're not planning any more mysterious disappearances tonight. Where have you been? Where have you been rushing off to? All sorts of weird hours, like you're off to a fire or something?
Nora, I thought you were supposed to take care of these houseplants.
It's some woman, isn't it? Why all the peculiar hours? I know. She's married, isn't she? Oh, Spencer, be careful. You know what you're always telling me about mixing business and pleasure?
You shut up.
Well, Mrs. Whitney will find out if you keep it up.
All right, Spencer, I'm ready. You can bring the car up front.
Yes,
Does this headband look all right with this dress?
Oh, it's lovely, and so are you.
Thank you. I haven't worn this dress in months.
Oh, it's so special.
Yes, well, that's because tonight is very special.
Ah, sure, and you got the 9th Precinct, Sergeant O'Malley.
Hector, is that you?
Johnny?
Man, you sound so real, I almost hung up. Listen, is Smiley around?
No, he's on his way. How are things going on your end? Well, I'm just about to meet Raven at the restaurant. I hope I can convince her to come up to the penthouse. Ah, don't worry about it, kid. No problem. You can do it. Just show her your etchings.
Etchings? I've got no etchings.
Yeah, right. Well, you'll think of something. Hey, listen, that guy, the butler, he's not going to be there, is he?
No, I gave Gregory the night off. It's just going to be Raven and I in the penthouse alone.
Terrific. Okay. So, the next time you call, it will be to report a murder. Go get him, Tiger.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers, Mountain Grown coffee, the richest kind, and by Bold 3, detergent plus full-strength fabric softener.
5 years ago, my only artistic outlet was finger painting. Today, I'm taking art classes. Boy, have I changed my life for the better. Back then, I called the plumber when the faucet leaked. But today, I can change a washer myself. Now that's better. 5 years ago, I had to buy boxes of this and bottles of that to get my laundry clean and soft. But Bold 3 detergent plus fabric softener changed that. A product that cleans, softens, and controls static clean all in one box. Now that's a change for the better. Oh, I know, only if it works. Well, Bold 3 works. See this shirt? Muddy, right? This was just as muddy. Would you ask more from a detergent? And talk about softness. All towels should feel this soft. Now watch. No sticking, no crackling, no annoying static clean. Would you ask more from your fabric softener? That's some change.
A change for the better. Bold 3.
Betsy smells funny.
That's baby smells. Smelly formula, sticky baby food.
Diapers.
That's ammonia. Baby laundry's a special problem. So instead of regular detergent, I use Dreft with enriched borax. It's specially made for baby laundry.
There's borax in grain after grain of Dreft. Dreft gets tough baby laundry clean and clean smelling.
Now she smells good.
Dreft cleans baby smells out of baby laundry.
Do you mind if I put it bluntly? Your mother is dying. And from what I could tell from her circumstances, she's dying alone.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Have you been treating her, Dr. Hilmer?
I saw her once or twice, not at the clinic.
Well, she's not Dr. Hilmer's patient, but one of her neighbors is, and apparently it was one of her neighbors that got Dr. Hilmer to come see her.
So is it still the same fourth floor walk-up? 2 windows facing a brick wall and very, very dirty?
The filth was indescribable. And your mother was... Well, she's suffering from acute alcoholism, among other things.
She wouldn't go to the hospital. She absolutely refused.
Look, at any rate, she started talking about having a daughter.
Well, Doctor, that is probably the first time she's thought of me in years.
Have you thought about her?
Wait a minute, Doc. Don't start making judgments.
Look, I didn't come here to make judgments.
Come on, Dr. Hilmer is simply here to tell us what has happened. Now, what we do about it is going to be our decision when we're alone.
You're right. Dr. Hilmer, thank you very much for your time and trouble.
Well, look, if you are going to decide something, you'd better make up your mind soon, because your mother doesn't have much time left.
How much longer?
About another 10 minutes if the train's on schedule.
I haven't been to Springfield in so long, I'm not sure I'm going to recognize it.
It hasn't changed.
How long's it been since you left?
About 4 years.
And you haven't seen your mother once in all that time.
It's worse than that. I haven't even heard from her. I mean, I wrote her letters and I've told you all this.
It's all right. It's natural to be thinking about it when you're on your way to see her.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not going alone. Listen, I can't tell you how much it means to have you all going with me.
I'm still not so sure we should all barge in on your mother at the same time.
Oh, no. I don't think that would be wise. We'll just be standing by for moral support.
Look, I'd be happy to see her as a physician if she would see me.
Oh, thanks, Miles. I really don't know how my mother is going to react to seeing me or anybody else. I just want to warn you, I don't think it's going to be too pleasant.
Well, remember what her neighbor, Mrs. Ingersoll, said.
Yeah, I know. My mother doesn't want to see me, and it doesn't surprise me.
Well, it shouldn't affect you either. Remember what I told you. Sometimes when people are ill, they say things they don't mean.
Oh, come on, she meant it. It's just that I still have to try.
I just hope there's enough time for that.
You know, I called Dr. Hilmer just before we left to check on her condition.
And?
She's no better, but she's still hanging on. Anyway, he suggested that when we rent the car, we stop by his clinic first. It's only about a block away from your mother's boarding house.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
I just wonder, what if her mother really means what she says, that she doesn't want to see Jody?
Yeah, do I barge right in?
Why don't we just face that problem when we come to it?
The only thing is I don't want to upset her. It might make her worse.
Jody, let's try and be positive about this. She's still your mother. She's going to want to see you.
Another thing Dr. Hilmer told me.
What's that?
Well, it was kind of a peculiar reaction your mother had after we made that first phone call.
What was that?
Well, apparently, this neighbor of hers, this Mrs. Ingersoll, called Dr. Hilmer, told him that your mother had forced herself out of bed and had begun to burn things.
Burn what?
I don't have any idea. Papers of some kind, letters or diaries, maybe. They're all ashes now.
Strange. What do you think that means?
Do you think maybe she was a little, mixed up?
Sounds like she was trying to hide something.
We'll probably have a drink at the restaurant, but I thought we might celebrate at home first by opening a bottle of champagne.
Oh, well, I think this is wonderful.
Lovely idea.
I'm just sorry that Derek couldn't be here to share it with us.
Well, I'm sure he's twice as sorry he had to get himself shot now.
Well, you wouldn't think something like that would happen to a police chief.
Well, you know, I think Derek still has the instincts of a cop on the beat.
But he makes a fine executive, too. I work with him, I know.
Well, how is he doing, Jinx? Mike said that he shouldn't be in the hospital too much longer.
Another couple of days, thank goodness.
And your wedding, then, will take place soon?
Oh, yes, very soon. I hope you understand why it's going to be a very simple wedding. I mean, I just couldn't bear a big fuss the second time.
Oh, yes, of course.
And there isn't going to be any reception. It'll just be a small church wedding with a few close friends. Of course, both of you are invited.
We'll be there. Now, how about a toast? To the very best marriage any couple could ever have.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Jinx, is your father going to be there?
Oh, yes, he's definitely going to be there. You know, he's never met Derek.
Yes, I understand.
But I'm sure he'll like him. I mean, how could he not? I think he's the most wonderful man on earth.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Yes. Tell me, how long have you been married?
Don't have enough fingers,
Oh,
Jinx.
it's been a good long time.
That's the way I want to feel.
Jinx, you said you had a limited time tonight, so why don't we finish up the champagne, and I'll call the restaurant and tell them we're going to be a little late.
All right. Well, I'm really not in that much of a hurry. I have a late appointment.
Oh, aren't you going to see Derek?
Yes, I am going to try to see him later. That is, if I can get past the night nurse, although I managed to do it last night.
She probably looked the other way.
Yes. Actually, what I have to do tonight is a kind of theatrical performance.
A toast to the most beautiful woman I've ever had the pleasure to dine with. There's only one thing that bothers me.
What's that?
Dinner will be over, and then I won't be able to look at you anymore.
Would you care to order now?
Yes. We'll both start off with the endive salad, and the lady will then have the veal. And I'll have a filet mignon. Well done, please.
Very good, sir. If you care for the souffle for dessert, it should be ordered now.
I was thinking maybe we could have dessert at my place.
Sounds lovely.
No dessert.
Mrs. Wright wrote playtext about her girdle.
I have a better half and a worse half. So I used to wear a heavy girdle with panels, uncomfortable. Then I tried your I can't believe it's a girdle. That incredibly strong, amazingly light fabric, it holds and feels comfortable. I can't believe it's a girdle. Firm control, but lightweight and comfortable. If you have a worse half, you'll love the I can't believe it's a girdle from Playtex.
Keebler.
Yes, sir?
Who's the owl for the skates?
That's Dizzy.
Dizzy?
He puts the stripes on our Keebler fudge stripe cookies.
Fudge stripes?
Fudge stripes are crisp Keebler shortbread cookies covered with lots of rich fudge on one side and fudge stripes on the other side.
Wonderful. But why do you call him Dizzy? Oh.
Keebler fudge stripes, fudge sticks, and deluxe grahams.
Last year's calendar. A note about Gunther. Ask Gunther to pick up gown at dressmaker's. I loved you, Gunther. Sometimes I can feel you in this room. Your hands touch this and this. Your footsteps are on this same carpet. You were here, occupying the same space I do now. But now you're gone. And I'm occupying all my spaces alone.
Any calls?
No. Were you expecting any?
I might be. You finished working?
I was just updating Mrs. Whitney's address book. She didn't ask me to. I thought of it myself.
Very enterprising of you, Nora.
Oh, there's not much to do here. I have to invent work.
Told you what you could do about that. You could do the cooking. You could perform the maid's duties.
Mrs. Whitney wants a confidential secretary. That's all I'm doing for her.
Even if you have to keep yourself busy?
Yes. Spencer, wait a minute. I wanted to ask you something.
What?
Yesterday, that young man that was here, Gavin Wiley.
What about him?
He's the one that shot Gunther, wasn't he?
Wrong, Nora. He's the one who thought he shot your precious Gunther. By now, you should know he didn't do it.
Mrs. Whitney doesn't believe that. I heard her talking to him.
Mrs. Whitney chooses not to believe it. The rest of the world does. If you want to take her side, go ahead. She'll love you for it. Maybe you can get a raise, even though you don't do any work.
But that is so far-fetched.
Nora, I don't want to talk about this anymore. In your own way, you're as close-minded as she is. No wonder you get along so well together.
I want the truth. About Gunther, I do.
Then open up your eyes and your ears. Gavin Wiley didn't kill Gunther. Miles Cavanaugh didn't kill him. It was the man who called himself Schuyler Whitney.
What do you mean? Called himself?
It's just a figure of speech, Nora.
You get it. Maybe it's your married girlfriend.
Whitney residence.
Spencer, is that you?
That's correct.
He's gone again.
This guy's gone.
Well, how did that happen?
I went shopping, Spencer. I can't stay in the hotel all day long, and we can't be his jailer. I went out for some groceries, and when I got back, he was gone.
Did you ask at the desk?
No, the first thing I did was phone you. What are we going to do if he's coming over there to the Whitney house to see Raven Whitney?
Let's just hope he doesn't.
Hey, Ed, what'd you use an automatic coffee maker? Folgers flaked coffee? Great.
What do you use in the automatic coffee maker?
Folgers flaked coffee.
Delicious.
Mrs. Olson, what did you use? Oh, Folgers flaked coffee.
Nothing's better in these coffee makers.
Where's that?
Folgers is mountain grown, the richest kind of coffee. It's a coffee recommended by Mr. Coffee, the best-selling coffee maker.
And it's flaked?
Flaked to release more rich flavor, so you use less. If you normally use 5 measures, you only need 4 of Folgers flaked coffee.
Delicious.
Mountain-grown Folgers. That's how good coffee makers make great coffee.
Gee, Ma, could you give us a lift?
You missed the bus. You walk to school. Oh, I wouldn't mind driving them, but they've got to be responsible. For me, anything less isn't enough. Look, I feel responsible for the things I buy, which is why I choose White Cloud. Of all bathroom tissues, White Cloud is the softest, and anything less isn't enough. Besides, each sheet of White Cloud is actually 2 fluffy sheets, and it's the most absorbent. And getting anything less than the most absorbent isn't enough.
Mom, can I go out and play?
Put on a sweater and I'll go out with you. Being responsible. That's why I buy 2-ply White Cloud. It's the softest and most absorbent, and anything less isn't enough.
More wine.
Are you trying to get me drunk?
I am trying to feed you dinner, but it's just not cooking as fast as I thought it was going to.
What's cooking in there? A 10-course meal?
1 salad and 1 course, kiddo. But it's a new recipe, and I'm not too sure about it, so I'm a little nervous.
I can see that. But I also think that maybe you're nervous about something other than a home-cooked meal.
Well, now, what gives you that idea?
This box, for one. It says right here, 1 superior double X door lock.
I'm putting a new lock on my door. Now, what's unusual about that?
Well, it'll certainly cure a case of the jitters, but... Wait a minute, have you had break-ins in your neighborhood lately?
No, I just think it's a good idea to change one's locks periodically, as a precaution.
Come here. This woman gave you a real good scare, didn't she? That's Libby Webster.
Well, she didn't contribute any to my peace of mind, that's for sure. Well, you guys don't know what it's like being a girl living all alone.
Miss Valerie Bryson, I have a remedy for that.
Yeah, well, this is my remedy for Miss Libby Webster. Boy, if I see her through that peephole again, she is not coming in.
I don't think that's the right approach.
You don't?
No, because the best defense is information, not a superior double X door lock. We got to find out what that woman really wants.
But I honestly don't care as long as she doesn't bother me anymore.
Well, I asked Calvin Stoner to run a police check on her.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Kelly, but, I mean, you really think that's going to do any good? I doubt she's from Monticello. As a matter of fact, I don't even think she's American. She sounded British to me.
It's worth a try, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate your worrying about me.
Well, I worry about you more and more.
All right, no fooling around with the cook. I gotta go see about this dinner.
You are trying to get me drunk. Oh. Wait a minute, pal, seriously. This Libby Webster, she claims that she once knew Sky Whitney?
So she claims.
Well, then it would follow that somebody else who knew Sky Whitney would also know Libby Webster.
Well, maybe. But who do we know who knew Sky that well?
His wife, for one.
Oh, you're gonna go talk to Raven about another woman in Sky's life?
But then there's his aunt, Geraldine Saxon. My boss? Yeah. Maybe I'll talk to both of them.
Who's there?
Hi, guys.
Oh, hi, guys. How you doing?
Will you look at this place? It's fantastic.
Oh, hey. Okay, it looks like a real police station.
Cliff, it is a real police station, remember?
But it looks even more like one now. Especially with you sitting behind that desk, kiddo.
Hey, you think so?
Oh, you look like a real desk sergeant. Where'd you get that uniform?
Yeah, Smiley bought it a couple weeks ago when we thought we were still in business. He picked it up for a song.
I didn't know Smiley sang. It's a joke.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I'm beginning to think Smiley can do anything.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. We have working phones and an intercom system between them. And this afternoon, Smiley rigged up a fingerprinting outfit and a camera to take mugshots.
How do you get all this stuff?
Well, we still had some money left in the treasury.
Hector, Hector, that's Sid's money. We weren't supposed to spend any more of Sid's money.
Oh, well, Smiley said it wasn't going to cost very much.
Wait a minute. You were supposed to do this cheaply. That's great. You know how much trouble we're in? What are we going to tell Sid happened to her money, huh? This is supposed to be a joke, you know?
Well, my brother just likes to do things with style,
Yeah,
you know?
in style, with other people's money. Well, I hope this scam works.
Well, relax, because the first part is working. Johnny is having dinner with Raven right now.
Oh, is he really?
Yes, and then he's going to bring her up to the penthouse, and then Mrs. Lance Halliday busts in waving her six-shooter.
Oh, my gosh. I don't believe we're really going to do this.
I don't believe we're doing it either.
Well, you just wait and see. In a couple, 3 hours, this phone is going to ring, and it's going to be our man Johnny calling the cops.
And that's you, right?
Right, except...
Does it itch?
I don't know. You want to find out? I have to look different from the desk sergeant, you know.
You wouldn't have fooled me, Hector.
Well, don't worry. I think when Raven Whitney sees Mrs. Lance Halliday laying there dead, she's going to be too shook up to think about any old fake mustache or anything. Besides, Calvin Stoner is going to do all the talking and all the arresting.
Boy, if that woman only knew what she's heading for tonight. Alrighty. Now, what are we gonna drink to?
How about to dessert?
Before my vacation, I decided to go on a diet and lose some weight. I thought I'd try a diet aid to help me eat less. But which one? Well, I chose this, Maximum Strength Dietac. It's strong. You can't buy a stronger, more effective appetite suppressant without a prescription. And it's from the people at Contact. You know something? I made the right choice.
Maximum Strength Dietac. It's strong, caffeine-free, and safe when used as directed. Isn't that what you want in a diet aid?
In the babysitting business, you need some tricks of the trade. See, kids always want this snack or that snack. But I know how fussy mothers are about those things, so I recommend raisins. Kids love them because they're sweet and chewy. Mothers like them because they're sweetened by the sun, not manufactured. I like them because they save me a lot of headaches. We know raisins are natural, but kids just know what they like. So, give them raisins and call them nature's candy.
Raisins from California, nature's candy.
You know that check you say you're gonna send me for the back rent? Yeah. Forget it. Thanks. I want cash.
Fred is looking for affection tonight at 7.
You know who I really envy? Jinx Avery. I mean, she doesn't just get to faint. I mean, the woman gets to die. Boy, I'd kill to die.
I sure hope she's a good actress. The hardest thing to do is to play dead.
Yeah, don't worry. She's a real pro.
Oh, well, I hope she can hold her breath. I'd hate to see Raven call the ambulance instead of the cops.
Oh, forget it. Johnny is the only one who's going to do any calling, and this is the only number he's going to call. As a matter of fact, I think it's the only number he can remember.
I hope you're right. I have this feeling like the whole thing's going to go wrong.
You know what I'd like to do? What? I'd like to go downstairs and check out those jail cells.
Well, all right.
I mean, like, you know, after all, I am going to be Raven Whitney's cellmate, you know?
All right, honey, let's go. You want a piece of this action?
Oh, no. With my luck, I get locked in one of those jail cells, and that would ruin the gag.
Well, all right. You watch the phone. Let's go, sweetheart.
See ya.
We gotta be crazy. Or else we're gonna have to be awfully lucky. Tell me what is going to happen.
Lance, I want to ask you something. You don't think I'm awful, do you?
Don't be silly. I think you're terrific.
No. I mean, because here I am with you, and my husband died like a month, 2 months ago, you know?
Raven, you're too young and vibrant to stay in mourning all your life.
I am, aren't I? And I couldn't just bury myself, you know? Although I loved him. Oh, God.
I'm sure you...
I loved him with all my heart. And just because I'm here with you doesn't mean that I don't think about him.
I understand.
Oh, no, I didn't want to see anyone I knew.
Raven, hello.
Hello, Raven.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I don't think you've met our friend Jinx Avery.
Glad has come up with a way to really handle kitchen garbage. With these tall kitchen garbage bags with handles built right in. Glad handle tie bags. This tough puncture-resistant bag has handles that you can tie in a knot, so no more twist ties. And the handles make it easy to lift and carry. Get a handle on your garbage with Glad handle tie bags. Yes, we're #1. We're tough, and we're glad.
Orange juice. It's remarkably appealing. Great tasting. Naturally nutritious. 100% pure orange juice from Florida. It isn't just for breakfast anymore.
Tonight at 8, Joe Namath is the last rebel in the lawless West on the Channel 48 Friday night movie. And tomorrow night at 7, take a tour of sunny Southern California with a group from the Lawrence Welk Show. Now stay tuned for Romance on the Ocean, next on The Love Boat.